Welcome to another episode of Thrive Like a Parent podcast. Today, I am sitting down with Tia B Stokes, a mom, dancer, fighter, and survivor. She's faced cancer, grief, and loss and chooses joy every single day. This is a conversation about scars, strength, and what it really means to choose happy. I hope you enjoy, and let's jump right in. Well, Tia, thank you for being here.
Nice.
Would love for you to just kind of start with sharing a little bit about who you are and your story. I
Yes.
can clearly give an intro, but I feel like it's best if it comes from you of who you are, and just share whatever you would like for everyone to know about you.
Okay. Well, aloha.
Love
We
that.
got we got to start it off right. I got to come in hot with my mom and dad on my heart.
Oh,
Well, I am Tia B Stokes. I'm a mother of five, Major Legend Mays, Taz, and Rosie, and I'm married to the handsome, incredibly good-looking Andrew Stokes. And I'm Polynesian. I'm Hawaiian Samoan. I come from a big family, seven kids. I started dancing at the age of 10. And I always just wanted to be a backup dancer. Like I wanted to be backup, tour the world, all the things. I ate, breathed, slept, danced, everything.
right.
And then at 17, I actually got my first professional gig as a backup dancer for Beyonce. And and it was so crazy because I was so young, but I after that I had, more opportunities in the industry. And then at 21, I decided that I wanted to give my life to the Lord. And I'm going to brief this in really short for you and you can ask me whatever you want later, but I just at 21 years old, I was actually getting ready to go back to LA with my brother and being managed between Jamie Spears, Britney Spears' dad at the time. And I just had this feeling like I want to do whatever the Lord wants me to do. I don't know what that is. I don't care if dance is in the picture. I just want to have a family. I want to be married and I want to do whatever the Lord wants. I want to be his vessel. Well, after that, crazy. I came back from teaching a college pro camp right after that. I there was nowhere for adults to dance in Southern Utah, like to take
Yeah.
a class. And so I started a hip hop class. I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I was 21, started a hip hop class. And as we're dancing, the same group of girls were coming to the class and it was hip hop and Utah wasn't a big fan of hip hop at the time. And so I was like, what am I going to name this group that's going to, bring positivity, but still be like fun and edgy, give like hip hop vibes, right? So the word calamity kept coming to my mind. Name the group Calamity. And I'm like, that's awful. Like that word means destruction, destroy. Like there's nothing good about calamity. So I did it. I brushed it off, did it, spelled it with a K. And we're
Oh,
getting ready for our first concert that like 2 years later. And as we're
mhm.
getting ready for our first like dance recital, for Calamity,
Yeah.
one of my dancers was diagnosed with cancer for the second time.
Wow.
So we decided let's make it a benefit concert for her and we'll donate all the proceeds. Well, that first concert, we raised about $1,300. And then after that, people just started asking us, and it clicked that Calamity stood for Dancing for Families Going Through Real Life Calamities.
Yeah.
And 14 years into my calamity journey, that same year, actually, that same year I met my husband. I got married, like started my family.
Yeah.
And then 14 years later into calamity, we had danced for over 60 families nationwide. We had raised over $1 million for families in need. I get diagnosed with cancer and I become the cause
Mhm.
whether I like it or not, right? Oh my gosh, and everybody thought like, "What? Like, how does this even happen to her?" Like the
Totally.
girl that was like dancing for people with cancer and dancing and advocating and supporting people that were going through calamities gets hit with the calamity like cancer at the
Yeah.
beginning of the pandemic. I just
Yeah.
had my fifth baby.
Yeah, how old was she when you got diagnosed?
She was 7 months old.
Yeah, she was really young.
7 months old. And yeah, I become the cause. And that day, I mean, I would say inserted, but I
Yeah.
was, admitted into the hospital that day. I had an hour to get there and it changed my whole life. But I truly believe, I mean, and you can ask me whatever questions you want after this, but I truly believe that God was like, I need to give you a college education about what you're doing.
Yeah,
I
for
need to,
you to
and
experience it.
so I look at it as like, I was entrusted,
Yeah.
you know? as hard as it was and as the world watched, I chose to dance every day because what else am I gonna do by myself, right? And my doctor had told me, like, you have to do something for 15 minutes every single day. You gotta walk, gotta get on the bike, you gotta pedal something. Little do we know, like, movement is actually a big source of medicine for healing, right? I didn't know that before. And so I danced on TikTok. And with that, I wanted to share a message of hope as I was doing it. So when people would open up the app and they see some crazy brown girl dancing, hooked up to her IVs, saying, life is beautiful. Like, we get to be here. And no matter our circumstances, we get to choose the way we dance to it. And yeah, and here I am today, 5 years later, in remission, hitting my survivor year soon. So,
Amazing.
so grateful.
Thank you for sharing all of that and being vulnerable to share all of that. Did you have any signs or what led you to the place to say, I think something is even wrong? Like what drew you to the path of saying, hey, I think I need to get checked out?
Yeah, so after I had Rose, I had a sore throat and I had a
Okay.
cough that would not go away. And after that, it was like one symptom after another. I had flu-like symptoms. I was
Wow.
having loss of appetite, loss of
Wow.
weight without trying, nausea. I mean, for 7 months, it was like I was just getting sicker and sicker with different things. And after you have a baby, you just think like, oh, I'm postpartum. My body's all out of whack.
I'm
I
down.
can't
Yeah.
breathe because hold on, I'm gonna help my three-legged dog on the couch. He's
You're totally fine.
trying to get up here. Come here, Flag. Wait, here you go. Okay.
Your three-legged dog. That's the cutest thing ever.
He got cancer too, so he had to have a leg removed. Yeah,
Aw.
he's the best ever. He's the best. But yeah, so it was just like one symptom after the other. And I was being given like Z packs and stuff to try to help
Yeah.
but I just could not get better. It was like I'd get better for a day and then I would get sick again with something else. And so finally, 6 months in, 6.5 months in, I woke up, I had like random bruising all over my legs. And at the time I was waking up with night sweats. I couldn't breathe, even just to have a conversation. It was really, really hard. Like I'd be like, like I thought I had asthma, like adult asthma or something, like it was
Yeah.
crazy. And so finally, my husband, the pandemic just hit, like the world just closed down probably a week before or 2 weeks before. And he called his friend. And thankfully, his friend Josh Arnold, which we had just made the move up to Northern Utah and for a coaching job, for Andy's coaching job. And his defensive coordinator, Josh Arnold, happened to be a doctor. And he's a really, really close friend of ours. And he called Josh and was like, hey, we got to figure out what's going on with my wife. They ran some blood tests on April 23rd. He called me that night and he's like, hey, Tia, so you're super anemic. That's what it looks like. You're like super, super anemic. And we're going to give you some B12 shots. You'll be fine. Like you'll feel great in the morning. So he's like, come in the morning. We'll give you some shots. Well, I go in the morning and, it's COVID. So we're in the parking lot and he comes out and he's like, hey, so I just happened to send your test to an oncologist just to, feel good throughout the night. Like I was doing the right thing. He's like, he's like, do you have any history of leukemia? And I said, no. I'm like, I don't have nothing in my family. And he's like, well, we think it might be leukemia. He's like, we think it might be leukemia and we want you to go get some blood work done and some more blood work done and let's just see for reals. So I went and did that. And then literally probably like an hour later, he shows up at my house and he diagnoses me that I had AML. Yeah.
Wow. And then
Yeah.
your journey began.
And then my journey
Um,
began.
and
Well, and
how long Go ahead, go ahead.
the thing about AML that people might not know is that it's as soon as you get diagnosed with it, it's basically stage 4. So
Wow.
it's fast, it's aggressive. So for that 7 months, it's not like I had it for 7 months. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are like, why didn't you get diagnosed? Why were your immune system shuts down, basically. You can't get better, you can't get better, and then your white blood cells go all out of whack, right? I had to have gotten it, like, I probably got leukemia, like, maybe days before or maybe a week before at the longest. Yeah. And then, so when they ran those tests, by that time, it was like, when he came over and he told my husband and me, he told my husband, he's like, hey, like, I don't think we found it in time. Prepare for the worst. Like, we don't think she'll make it through the weekend. Really. Yeah.
That's the message you were delivered.
Yeah, that's what he told my husband, and bless his heart because, he's a good family friend, like, he was a friend of ours
Sure.
before a doctor, right? So, he was being honest with my husband, like, "Hey, I because of the pandemic, like, my husband couldn't go in with me. He had to drop me off on the steps of the hospital." So,
Right.
he was just being like, "I'm so sorry." Like, he was crying. He's like, "I'm so sorry. Like, I just don't like I'm gonna be honest with you. When you drop her off, I don't know what will happen after that. Like, we don't think she'll make it after that. So,
So how long did
yeah.
you stay in the hospital? I know you were in and out, right,
Yeah.
of the hospital. I guess tell us how long the entire process took, but then tell us a little bit about how long you were in and then out and how did all that go?
Yeah. So that whole year, I mean, I would pretty much say I lived in the hospital that whole year with the in and outs, right? And I think when I finally came home was in January, at the end of December of 2020. So at the end of December 2020. But my first time I was admitted into the hospital, it was 31 days. So 31 days by myself. I went through intense rounds of chemo, red devil chemotherapy. And that's when, I lost my hair. I had sores all the way up and down my body. I mean, I was so weak and lonely. I mean, I think the biggest thing was like I was so
You did this
lonely, but
alone.
also,
Like you did this
yeah,
alone.
but, like, I also feel so grateful because I was able. I know it sounds so weird, but I always think about it and I'm like, I feel like if it wasn't the pandemic, I
Mm,
wouldn't have documented as much as I wouldn't have put so much out there. I
really.
wouldn't have danced so much on the internet.
Sure.
I wouldn't have tried to bring so much hope, right? Because physically people would be in there uplifting me constantly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then also I think of how much growth I had connecting with my Heavenly Father and Savior Jesus Christ during that time by myself, like
Mhm.
having to be alone. Like I couldn't
Mm.
rely on anybody else except for, my nurses and my doctors, and then my relationship with my Savior. So I think about it, and yeah, it's hard. Everyone's, oh my gosh, it's so hard. But then I also think how grateful I am because I wouldn't have had those moments of silence. I wouldn't have had those moments just to be with me and to figure out who I am and what kind of strengths I could develop through all of this,
Totally.
and who I could become through all of this. Like,
Totally.
I would have been so congested with people coming in and out and visit, which is great, which is a great thing. But also, I think it was a huge blessing. And like I said, a college experience in what I was going through to be able to find out who I really was, throughout all of this. So as much as hard as it was, I look back and I'm like, man, what a blessing it actually was,
That
you
makes a
know?
lot of sense. I actually just recently I don't even remember who I was talking to. And I feel like, I mean, we are 5 years, out of a lot of the things that we've been through in our life.
Yeah.
And I would say that despite Jonathan not passing until 2021, my solo parenting journey really started like no joke, like same as you, like the week that COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I would have put as much into my community and my network and going to social media and talking to the people that I had in my community and building my community similarly to you if I hadn't been
Yeah.
alone, right? I had two little boys and myself, and eventually I got some help and we had the hard conversation of like, look, if I get sick, you're going to have to take care of me. And if you get sick, I'm going to take care of you.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, I really did put my all into my community because I was so alone. Right. I had nothing else. And it was a huge support system for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
through that time for you, I mean, the dance you did over and over and over again, and people dancing and dancing
Yeah.
for you and doing that dance. And I mean, that's your freaking song and your dance. Like everyone, like, I mean, I don't know if everyone knows, but I surely know, and a lot of, millions of people know.
Yeah.
But no matter what, you showed up for yourself, no matter what
Yeah.
you decided that you are going to spread joy within your own body and within your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible what you moved through by yourself.
Well, and I think it's like I think about it and it's like I was just I was thinking about this earlier about something else, but it's like when you're used to what you always have, you never get to explore what you could be, right? Like, and
Totally.
if you're always just, and it comes with people too, right? Like if you're just stick with it, but like I feel like that put me in a position where I had to find something different to make connection. I
Totally.
had to be able, does that make sense? Like
Yes.
I couldn't have connection physically, so it was like, what can I
Totally.
do to build more friendships and get like conversations and build connection and bring hope and love? Like I had to do something different and he had to put me in a place different where I
Yeah.
could,
Yeah.
and I always think about that, but I'm like, holy crap. Like you
Yeah.
have to do something different. You have to be uncomfortable. It has to be a place where you get like
Totally.
but
Totally.
I that it wasn't even about me just showing up for myself, but it was like, okay, I know I need to move every day, right? Because I got to fight cancer. I love dancing. TikTok just came out. I'm by myself.
Yeah.
you know, how else am I going to build connection? And we all
Yeah.
know connection is healing.
Yes.
So I had to do something different. And the coolest thing is that that different built such a beautiful community for me to lean on and for people to carry me and to feel that and for me to feel that love. And I mean, I talk about it, I'm like, there's just so many beautiful things that have been able to transpire through such a messy, hard opportunity, right?
That's really great that you say that because, again, I feel the same way, but it's very hard to express to individuals and say, I went through a lot of funk. I went through a lot of
Yeah.
shit. I went through the
Yeah.
mud. Like this the journey you went through was not easy, but at the same time, I don't know if I would be the person that I am today without it.
No,
That doesn't necessarily mean that you're so grateful that you got cancer. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm so
no,
grateful my
no,
husband passed away. Like those things
no.
can be one and the same in terms of
Yes.
it sucks that you got cancer. It sucks that Jonathan died, but also what we've done with it and how we've chosen to move through it and see the silver lining or accept the strength that we never knew we had, or to be able to continue on and see how beautiful life is in a completely
Well,
different way. Right?
and to help other people, right?
Yes.
Like, that's
Yes.
what I mean with, like, the college education of it is, like, I was
Totally.
already, like, dancing for people, but it's like I needed to feel what they felt. Like,
Mhm.
Brielle right now, I'm dancing for her, and I've been dancing for her for a year and a half, and right now I've taken her on as my personal cause and every day, and I'm like, I have felt like I can't help myself.
Yeah.
Like, I physically I you can't I can't help it because
Yeah.
I have felt what their families felt. I have been the cause. I have been the
Yes.
one lifted up. I have been the one not knowing what was gonna happen tomorrow. I have been the one that's all that's consumes me is cancer, 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 so
Yeah.
now I get to be the one that's like, I get to carry you. And
Yeah.
I truly feel like these experiences that we're given, it puts us in a place where we are so you're so compassionate right now. Like it's changed your whole perspective where it's like you
Mhm.
can't help but want to help somebody else that's going through
Totally.
something similar or hard,
Totally.
right? But and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like that's what life's about. Like at the end of the day, at the end of this life, like that's what it's about is helping each other and loving one another.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about what your life looks like now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. My life now is very awesomely busy. I live in my car most of the time, driving my kids from practice to school,
I hear
which
you.
I love and I thrive. Like I know but that's the other thing. Like I got a college degree and like just appreciating motherhood, like
Yes.
every little moment counts and I thrive off of this phase of life that I'm in right now. I have 5 kids and I have 4 boys that play football, 1 that plays soccer as well, a little girl that dances and does gymnastics and it's the best ever. Like I take my kids everywhere. I get to be at all their games. I get to, take them to their practices. My husband's a high school football coach. He gets to coach my son that plays for him right now. I still have my dance studio, so I still have my Dance for a Cause mission that I've had since I was 21 years old. And I get to dance and I get to choreograph, I get to direct and do all of that with my studio kids. And I'm a motivational speaker now. I travel and share my story with people all over and bring hope. And I get to live life. And there's honestly, it's beautiful. And I'm truly so grateful for all the opportunities, hard or good, and that helped me to grow and to become who I'm meant to be. So, but yeah, that's what life looks like for me now.
Very busy, juggling lots, right? Between your social media presence as well
Yeah.
as motherhood, as well as your brand and line of clothing and your
Yeah.
website, right? And your dance studio, and as well still lifting others up and supporting others. It's really busy, but it sounds like you thrive off of that.
Yeah, I do. I thrive off of that a lot. I'm a little bit ADHD, if you can't tell. So I thrive off of being busy. I thrive
Love
off
it.
of like creating, I'm a creator. And also I do feel like everything I do ties into each other. Like my brand,
Yeah,
I've been able to use it to give back as well, the studio. So they're all kind of intertwined like
yeah,
passion projects, if that makes sense. So
totally.
it's not really like, I gotta go to work. It's never work for me. Like everything is everything I love. And I love that I
How
get to
cool is
use.
that, that you get to, like, live a life that you love?
Oh, I really do. I wake up every morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so blessed. Like I am so grateful that my dance studio, I get to serve with it. I went my clothing line, I get to serve with it. Social media, I get to serve with it. Speaking, and honestly,
Yeah.
that brings me the most joy is being able to serve and help other people. So
So
I
I
feel really grateful.
I can't help but bring up, I know recently, and I feel like I've seen it in the past, that sometimes we have negative comments or people who are saying not so nice things, right?
Oh
And
yeah. Oh yeah.
I would love to hear your take on it, and for you to have a moment to share how that feels for you when there
Yeah.
is negativity or questioning your motives and all
Yeah.
all that goes on.
I have to say, like, I've experienced a lot of hate on the internet.
As we
I've
all
been
have, right? We become immune, thank goodness, but yes, it's right.
exactly. I'm like, I don't know. My brother used to say, he's like, if they're not talking about you, then you're doing something wrong.
Totally.
Like if they're talking about you, that's good then, right?
Yes.
So I think a lot of it, I've had to change my perspective. Yes, it hurts. I'm still a human. I think this last thing, though, this last little thing that's been going on with the whole Brielle situation, oh, she's getting clout off of Brielle. Oh, she's trying to be famous off of Brielle. What I've had to realize, and I've had to like really, because honestly, for a minute, it made me feel like shiz, like made me
Yeah.
feel like crap, and be like, oh my gosh, am I really a bad person? Am I? And I had to literally lock in to hello, Tia. You've been doing this since 2007.
Yeah.
You've been dancing for kids with cancer and other people fighting calamities since 2007. Nothing has changed.
Yeah.
Now, what's changed is there's a platform. My cancer journey gave me a platform, right? God gave me this platform through my
Totally.
cancer journey. Now, there's lots of people watching, and lots of those
Mhm.
people don't know you from 2007.
Totally.
They know you from what's today? September 17th,
Right.
2025.
Right.
Right? And so I've had to really lock in and be like, okay, God knows my heart. He knows who I am. I've been doing this for a very long time. I would
Yeah.
be doing this without the internet watching because
Totally.
I did, right? Because I did. And all that matters is what the Lord thinks
Yeah.
and what Brielle, I'm very, very close with their family, with Kendra. We talk every day. And we know, I mean, she gets a lot of mean things said about her too for being a mom, right?
Sure.
But nobody's been in her situation before. Nobody, and I have to go to bat for her sometimes. Like, nobody's been in her situation. Like, you've never experienced what their family is going through.
Yep.
So we can't judge people off of a 15-second video that you see. So
1,000%.
for me, through this whole last little bit, I've had to really just succumb to like, this is who I am. I've been this person since 2007. I've been serving people through dance for 18 years, not almost 19 years.
Yeah.
and just really lock into my why, my purpose. And then I think about this. I'm like, okay, so I try to take myself, I'm like, okay, try to sit back and do nothing. Like,
Yeah.
don't dance for Brielle. Don't dance for Wesley. Don't show people to pray and support and love other people. Yeah. Yuck. No.
Yeah. Right.
Yuck.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right? Like, I'm like,
Totally.
I can't. Like, it goes back to like, I literally can't help myself.
Totally.
And so for me, it hurt for a minute, it hurt for a couple days, but then I'm just like, you know what? They don't know me the way my Heavenly Father knows me. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think that we decide to put our lives on the internet. We decide to share our stories,
Yeah.
and we unfortunately don't ask for people to judge our lives, but they're going to, or they're going
Yeah.
to say something.
Yeah.
And I've definitely seen and heard it all.
Yeah.
But what I would say is the first time I, saw a certain comment or a this or a that, I was like, ooh, like that, that kind of stings a little. And then you sit with it and
Yeah.
you're like, you know what? Like doing nothing, like I'm not going to sit back and I'm going to keep going. So, like, delete
Exactly.
and let's keep going. Right. And then
Exactly.
every now and then you still get sideswiped and
Oh,
a
totally.
comment that you don't expect or that you would never have thought people would say show
Yeah.
up, and then you kind of have to process through it, check yourself and be like, like, how do I
Yeah.
feel about that? And then we keep going. Then the next time something like that is said, you're like, oh, like, been there, done that. Like, come on, like, what else do you
Yeah.
got to say?
What do you got? What else you got for me? Yeah.
Yeah, what else do you
Well,
got? Because I've already heard it.
well, and my husband always reminds me, he's like, Tia, you got to remember there's millions of people watching you. Like,
Yeah.
not everybody's going to like you. He
Yeah.
reminds me of that probably a couple times a week. Like, come on, babe. Like, let's be honest. Like, not everyone's gonna have something nice to say, you know?
Yeah.
And I have to check myself too. Like, okay, yeah, he's right. Like, of course. And to each, they all have their own opinions and stuff. But like, it does sting. But I feel like, with a lot of like purpose, like and I tell my girls this, my friends this, that share as well. I'm like, when your purpose is great and you know your why, like
Yeah.
that needs to be your check-in, right? Like that needs to be your
Yeah.
okay. My why is because I want to hopefully help one person today. Like if I can help
Exactly.
one person today, that's it. That's all that matters.
Yep.
Nothing else matters. Whether it's good coming in or bad coming in, you help the one,
Yep.
And I always have to check myself that way too. I'm like, hey, every time I post, I'm like, hey, this has to either bring one person a smile, hope,
Yep.
motivation, love. And if it's one person, then I've done enough.
Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten hate from, I don't want to call it hate. I've just gotten opinions, comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, opinions and comments. And sometimes they're even about me sharing regarding Jonathan. And I can't tell you the amount of positive comments I've gotten that
Yeah.
have said, thank you so much for sharing this. I spoke to my partner tonight and we shared more than we ever have. And my partner is going to go get some help and struggling with, depression or this or that. And like if I can help one person, then it's
Yeah.
worth all the negativity
Exactly.
that I receive, which is it's not that often anymore, but it does sometimes hit you like a ton of bricks when you're not expecting it.
Oh,
And
totally.
we are doing this for good, right? It's not for
Yeah.
personal gain or clout. It's because we care. And sometimes
Yeah.
that gets lost in translation.
It does. Well, and you got to remember, it's like, and like I said earlier, people will find you today and
Mm.
they'll judge you from today. You know what I'm saying? Like
Totally.
they didn't walk the last 19 years of me building my dance mission and
Mm,
dancing for the first person back in 2007 and then seeing every cause since Brielle. So we just have to broaden our perspective to be like, okay, like I know my why, I know my purpose, I understand what I'm doing. And when you sit right with the Lord, like that's what matters, you know?
I agree. Okay, I have some fire questions for you, but some of the questions may take a little bit of a moment to answer rather than just like a yes or a no, and that is totally
Okay.
okay.
Okay,
So I
let's
would
do
love
it.
to know the lowest or hardest moment through your cancer journey. If
The
there's like a
lowest or
defining, you know what I mean?
yeah, wow. The lowest or hardest moment. I'm trying to pick one.
Sure. As you're like holding all your stuffed animals, I'm thinking to
I
myself,
know.
I'm
Me, I'm
sure
like,
she's got a
"Ah."
plethora of lows, right?
Sorry. I would say when I was so this was like in the middle of my like that year of 2020. I got COVID and I was put in isolation. I was in which you would think like it was already the pandemic. I was already like by myself, right? But isolation meant like I was off the cancer floor. I was put in kind of like a corner area of a floor and nobody could come in. And I couldn't leave my room. So it
Yeah,
was like nobody could come in except for one doctor, one nurse, and then I couldn't leave at all. And that was for 28 days, like by myself. Yeah.
that
And
is a
that was
lot.
really hard. And during that time, I remember this night, the doctor comes in, he's all hazmated, and he's like, Tia, I'm so sorry. He's like, you have pneumonia and acute kidney failure. Like your body's like, getting so sick it can't heal itself, right?
Yeah,
And I just remember being so low. Like I was by myself in this dark room
totally.
and just feeling like just so like why? Like what now? Like what now? And at the time I had remained positive, throughout the whole thing, but still doesn't just because you choose to be positive doesn't mean you're gonna feel the hard too, Like
1,000%.
and yeah, that was a really, really hard moment because I mean, and I remember literally on day 28 and day 28, my doctor walks in and she's like, I got to get you out of here. Like, you got to get out because I was mentally not okay. You know,
Totally.
I wasn't okay.
28 days by yourself in isolation will do that to a human. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wasn't okay. And I just remember being very, like a lot of anxiety. I've never had anxiety before that. And I now have developed anxiety because of
Sure.
that. But yeah, it was just really, really dark and lonely. And you start to feel like during that time, I started to feel like my family was fine without me. Like my kids, like I had a good friend that was helping with my kids, every day. And my husband was home with the kids and people were helping my family and, people were stepping in, which I'm so grateful for. But when you're in isolation like that and, you become like a baby because everybody's taking care of you, the nurses are coming in, they're coming in, taking care of you. They're doing all the things for you. They're making sure you're showering, you're eating, you're all the things, right? And you start to feel like everybody would be better without me. Like I'm a burden. The world, my family's going on without me anyways. So you start to feel very, very, I felt very, very alone, but also like there was no purpose for me. And I remember on that day 28 when my doctor came in and she said, you got to get outside. I'm taking you outside. She surprised me with my family outside the hospital and my kids, but I couldn't touch them. I had to stay far away, like 6 feet away, which I was so grateful I got to see them at all. But
Absolutely.
that same day, while I'm looking and talking to my family, my cute son, he was probably like 7 at the time. No, he was like 8, he was 8, and he looks at me and I didn't have to say anything, he just knew and he just said, "Mom, we miss you more than you even know." And that was it. That's all I needed. That's all I needed to know, like, okay, like, I made it and I gotta keep fighting. Like, I can't give up
Mhm.
yet.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Thank you for
Um,
sharing that.
yeah, thank you. Thanks for asking.
I would love to know your high of that journey.
My high. I had a lot of highs in the
Good.
journey. Wow. Well, that same month, October 7th, I picked up my phone and to do my TikTok and I was COVID, all the things, and TikTok went red for the whole day. And there was a hashtag red for
I
Tia Day.
remember that. I totally remember that.
Yeah, there's a hashtag red for Tia Day, and everybody on the app was wearing red. They were
Totally
dancing, they were
remember
doing
that.
my fight dance. But it was a high not just because it was for me, but it was a high because so many people were loving and they were serving at a
Yeah,
time when the world was shut down, right? Everybody was
totally.
miserable. I wasn't the only one miserable, but everybody was locked in their houses and miserable. And it was a high because during that time, so many people were finding a way to serve and to love
Yeah,
and to come together for somebody else and to unify. I mean, I feel like that day just unified so many people together. And that was a high for me.
that's amazing. That's a good one. That's such a good one.
Yeah.
What would you say your biggest takeaway from going through that journey was?
Wow. Yesterday was history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present.
I love that. I need to
Literally.
write that down.
Yep.
That's
My dad
baller.
my dad used to say that all when I was growing up, and I never realized exactly the importance of it until
Wow.
you don't think it's gonna be you, you know? You never think it's gonna be you, and
Yeah.
it's not if, it's when, really. It's not if, it's when. And not cancer, just anything hard, losing your
Yeah.
husband. I
Yes.
mean, right? Like, you never
Life
thought
is
that would be
hard.
you,
Yeah.
right? And I think so it's to me, it's just a reminder to enjoy today,
I
live
love that.
today, don't worry about next week. We don't even know if next week's gonna happen. So
Tot
and don't miss out on what life is offering you right now.
What is
Yeah.
your favorite thing to do with your kids?
Everything. I love to we play a lot of street football, have our house on Sundays. So our favorite thing is to play football outside. We love that. We love playing street games. We love watching movies. We love just being together. My family, we're always together, me and my kids. If they're not at practice or, we're always together. So, yeah.
And you are a ray of sunshine and a bubbly, bright light, but I'm sure to make humanize you more, I'm gonna ask, do you ever snap or get frustrated with your kids?
Well, all the time. I'd be a human if I didn't. I mean, come
Right?
on.
Right?
All the time. I
We
would actually
parents,
say
we all do it. All of us.
I'm actually kind of a strict mom. I'm not strict. I'm a fun mom. I always tell my boys, I'm like, do you want happy fun mom or you want momster mom?
Huh?
You want monster mom or you want Hulk smash mom? But like I feel like I mean, we raise our kids pretty differently. I mean, my kids don't have cell phones, and they don't
Love
have
it.
social media. Like I
Love
help
it.
them run their social media, but like from my phone. I would say, like, I was having this conversation with my son the other day, Legend, and I was like, "Do you think mom and dad are strict?" He's like, "Yeah, you guys are pretty strict." And I said, "Well, is there anything that we can do differently? Like, would you want us to do anything differently? Like, should we kind of ease back a little bit? Should we give you guys?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "No." He's like, "It's good for us." He's like, "It's
Yeah.
good for us to learn and to
Yeah.
grow and to have guidelines and structure and." But like I do all the time. I mean, I'm in the morning like, come on, like I mean, I snap, I come back, I snap, I come back.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't be a mom. I wouldn't
Right.
I feel like we all have our moments of having those moments. It's okay. It's normal. That's normal. And I think it's okay to have conversations with your kids. I mean, just last night in the car, the night before, I kind of snapped at my kids and my husband. And so yesterday in the car, I said after school, I picked them up and I was like, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, sorry for having being frustrated and taking it out on you guys." And my boys are just like, "Mom, it's okay. And we're sorry. We're sorry for not listening." But, like, how cool is that for us to have
Yeah.
that like, they in their minds too, they had been thinking about it, and they're like, "No, we're sorry. We were being punks. Like,
Yeah.
we're sorry too, mom. Like, we should have been better as well." Like, think I don't think confrontation and having those moments of, like, are always bad. Like, it shows our kids that we can we're human, and then
1,000.
we can work through and talk about what happened and then come together and be like, "Man, I was wrong." It's good for your kids to see that you were wrong, right? Like, I don't know,
Totally.
I feel like that. Like, it's good for them to see you say you're sorry to them and
Totally.
to be able to have those moments to learn to grow together. So, yeah, I'm totally human. I have my moments.
I
I raised 4 boys and a husband.
right? I absolutely have the same, and I repair with them as the same as you, and
Yeah,
one thing that gets me is how they respond to it. They're always like, "It's okay," and I'm like, "No, it really wasn't okay," but they're like, "No, no, it's
yeah,
okay," and I'm like, "No, no, it wasn't." Like, we just have this mutual love and respect for one another, but something
yeah.
my children have been doing lately is literally just this year, they give me random hugs, and
No.
physical touch is so important, especially if we're going to be more structured in that logic brain and quote strict or hold
Yeah,
boundaries with our children, which is necessary. I'm fully on board
yeah,
with that.
yeah.
We need to have the physical side and the nurture
Totally.
side. And you can feel that through your nurture and through your touch, but
Yeah,
for them to give it back, like
yeah.
randomly, like they're, pulling the trash cans in at like 9 o'clock at night. And then Charlie comes up and
I
his
know.
arms are open. And I'm I'm like, "What is this for?" He's like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Okay, thanks." Like that. I'm like, "All right, like we must be doing
I
something right, you know?"
Yes. Well, and that's like my oldest. Like as soon as I walk into the house, he hugs me. As soon as he wakes up wakes up out of bed, like this morning I was down here working out in my living room and he comes straight to me and hugs me. Like all my I think that's so important too. I believe that. And at
Yes.
nighttime, I actually make them hug me for like 7 seconds.
Oh,
Like
I
they
used to
have to
do
hold
that
it
with
with two arms. I'm like, nope, 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 nope. And I have teenagers, right? Like they don't always want to hug their mom for 7 seconds. But I'm
yeah,
like, nope, nope. You got to feel that I love you for 7 seconds, whatever we went through in today. You know what I mean? Like all the things we've gone through today, we got to end our day with like a 7 second hug. And it's cute though, the way they'll, now they hug me on their own. They'll come and
yep.
randomly hug me. And I think it's beautiful.
Well, Tia, thank you so much for sharing your story and just hanging out and chatting with me today. I've really, really enjoyed it. And
Love you.
I love you too. I think you're fantastic and your energy is absolutely contagious. And one day we're going to dance together. Like one day we
Yes, we
will.
will.
We
Let's do
will. We
it.
will.
I love you. Thank you so much for having me, Brooke. I'm
Yes. Will you tell
grateful.
everyone where they can find you and
Yeah.
all of the different things?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and it's just the Tia B Stokes, all the same. And then, my shop Tia B with uplifting, motivating merch. And yeah, if you want to come and dance with me in Southern Utah, come to the
Oh my
vault.
gosh, I would love that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, come to the vault where we dance all the
Heck
time.
yeah.
It's beautiful.
Heck
So,
yeah. I
so
may have to come
grateful.
to one of the football games too and dance on the sidelines with you because that kind
Yeah,
of looks fun too. Not gonna lie.
someone the other day is like, I really love this school. Like Tia, like I love that we have a dancer on the side.
Oh my gosh. If I were you and my husband was the coach, I'd be like, "I'm gonna be a cheerleader now, so y'all just better scoot over." I'd be like, "Let's go." And I'd be like, "Go fight, win." Like, I'd be
I
doing the whole
know,
thing.
but it's good.
And then
I
I'd
love doing it
try
for
to
the boys.
watch, but also dancing at the same time. I would try to
The
do
funny
both.
thing is, Brooke, is I've been doing that since my husband's been coaching high school football since we've been married, 19 years, and I've been on the sidelines ever since. And I've
That's
been doing
amazing.
that even before I had kids out there on the
That's
field.
amazing.
So people are like, "What? Like you've
Who's
been
that
doing that
Yeah, that's awesome.
you didn't even have kids out there?" I'm like, "Nope. I can't help myself. One of those things I can't help myself."
Yeah, rather stand than sit. I'm the same way. Well, thank
I
you
love you, girl.
again for being here. Thank you, and one of these days, we're gonna dance together.
Okay, let's do it. Love you.
Love you too, and until
Thank you.
next time,
Yes,
XOXO, Dr.
aloha.
B.